Hey everybody, welcome to the D. Louise book series. I'm Christina Kristina, and this is where we read books, talk about books, no special effects here, no theme music, nothing special here, just very low tech, just reading books, talking books. And as you know, I'm a series person. I like to read series. I like to read about character progression. We're doing Star Trek Next Generation on Fridays. While they solve an episode each, uh, resolve an issue each episode, there is character progression from book to book to book. So, and then also check out Flashback Mondays. I'm doing books that from my Romantic Times magazine that I still own today. Oh Lord, there's gonna be a fight. Oh nope, he made it. He made it. He made it. He survived the girl. Yay! He survived. He's a good boy. He's a good boy. He got past the girls safely. Wow, Casanova, very good. Casanova is afraid of girls. Totally petrified of girls. Absolutely petrified. So, where were we? Oh, yes. If you could please hit the like and subscribe, I'd appreciate it very much. Those of you who are, come on, before she gets you. Those of you who are already subscribed, thank you very much. I've got this fantasy of hitting 1,000 likes for Christmas. I know it's probably not possible, but I would like to give it a good old try, and you're the only one that can make it happen for me. So, what about you? Are you coming over here? Don't kill him. Smokey? Smoke. No, don't kill him. No. So, anyways, we are doing 30 days of Stephanie Plum. So today we are doing book 2. 2 for the dough. Always do my books on audio. And Stephanie Plum is an unemployed lingerie buyer from E.E. Martin. And we probably don't hear too much more about that. And I didn't realize, because I'm so caught up in the later books, how really good Stephanie was at her job to begin with, and how serious the books were to begin with Grandma Mazur playing the comedy pieces. That changes in later books, but right now, Grandma Mazur is playing it. Stephanie is a bounty hunter. Smokey, don't kill him. Smokey, Smoke. Good Lord. Casanova, you're gonna get killed. Casanova, come over here. Come over here. Stay here. Smokey, Casanova, come here. Casanova, come over here. She's gonna kill you if you go over there. See? It's unedited. I'm sorry. Come over here, Casanova. Casanova. Come on. I don't need a fight tonight. Come on. Come on, puppy. Come on, sit. Casanova. All right, so Stephanie used to be a lingerie buyer for E.E. Martin. Now she was unemployed, and she got a job working at her cousin's bail bond. She's now a bail enforcement officer. And the first couple, and this is pretty good. This year so you can see it. It was pretty good. I thoroughly enjoyed this series, and we will be doing all 30 books in anticipation of 30/30. So we're doing 30 days of JANET EVANOVICH. And so we have Stephanie and her mother and father and Grandma Mazur, and we have Joe Morelli, who's an undercover or vice cop sometimes. We have Ranger, who is, his situation will change in future books, but right now he's also a bond enforcement person. Dickie Orr was Stephanie's husband, and we will see him in future books. Joyce Barnhart was the woman that Stephanie caught her husband on the dining room table with. And we have lots of other people make appearances in the books who will become regulars. And we also get a second glance at Lulu, who I didn't realize that she'd gotten the job on the. I thought Stephanie had gotten the job, but I was totally wrong. So anyway, we start this book off with the fact that a gentleman got shot in the knee at a gas station, and Kenny was accused of shooting him in the knee, and he had gone to jail and he was out on bail, and there's a $10,000, $100,000, and Stephanie needs the money and she's trying to catch him. In the process, she also meets up with Ranger. Oh, and I wanted to make another note that while I said Ranger's book situation will change, the fact that Ranger is a health food nut, and his situation gets revealed more and more. And like I said, Morelli is a cop. So we start off with the shooting at the gas station, and then Stephanie decides to stake out Kenny's. Come on, Casanova. Come on, Casanova. You're gonna have to stay here, or she's gonna kill you. Come on. Come on. Come on, Casanova. Come over here. Come on. Stephanie decides to stake out his girlfriend's house in hopes that he will show up. And Kenny does show up, and they have a romantic interlude in the vehicle in the parking lot. And Stephanie doesn't want to interrupt the romantic interlude in the parking lot. And while she's watching the two of them rock the vehicle, Joe shows up and scares the life out of her. So then they go in pursuit, because after the interlude, Kenny leaves and they go in pursuit, and she hurts her car a little. So, and we also get the first appearance of Big Blue. Big Blue is a Buick that belonged to her Uncle Sandor that her parents have. And Big Blue will never get hurt. Spoiler alert. Big Blue will never, ever, ever get damaged. Unlike every single other car Stephanie will ever own. So the Garza shows up. Calls her the next day after the unsuccessful stakeout at Kenny's girlfriend's house, and tells her that the gas station guy was killed. So now Kenny is wanted for murder of the gas station guy. And so she's going to look for Kenny, and she goes to Kenny's apartment and she steals his mail. And then she takes Grandma Mazur to a viewing. And I should mention right now that funeral viewings are Grandma Mazur's form of entertainment. And she hates a closed casket. So she will do anything and everything to get a casket open to see the individual. And I know I wrote this down. I don't think I'm going to be able to do this. I found it. So, like I said, Stephanie's grandmother has to have the casket open. Absolutely has to have it open. And no matter what Stephanie tells her, she has to have it open. I hate that green room. Grandma Mazur said, hustling after me. Wrinkles. Wait a minute. Let me speak up. Let's see. I hate that green room, Grandma Mazur said, hustling after me. Every wrinkle shows in that room. What with all that overhead lights, that is what comes to when you see Walter Dumasky do the electric. Then Walter Dumasky brothers don't know nothing. I'll tell you, if Steve will lay me out in the green room, you just take me home. I just as leave he pick up on the curb for Thursday trash. If you're anybody at all, you'll get one of the new rooms in the back with the wood paneling. Everybody knows that. Betty Sazak and her sister were standing at the open casket. Miss Goodman, Miss Gennaro, old Miss Siak, and her daughter were already seated. Grandma Mazur rushed forward and put her purse on a folding chair in the second row, her place secured. She's got to have front row seating. She wobbled up to Betty Say's and made her condolences while I worked the back of the room. I heard that Gail Laser was pregnant, that Barlasky's deli was cited by the health department, and Big Zimbara was arrested for indecent exposure. I didn't learn anything about Kenny Mancuso. I wandered through the crowd, sweating under my flannel shirt and turtleneck, with visions of my damp hair steaming as it fizzed out to maximum volume. By the time I got to Grandma Mazur, I was panting like a dog. Just look at that tie, she said, standing over the casket, eyes glued to Gunzer. It almost got horse heads on it. If this don't beat all, it almost makes me wish I was a man so I could be laid out with a tie like this. Bodies shuffled at the back of the room and conversation ceased as the KFC made its appearance. The men moved forward two by two and Grandma Mazur went up on tiptoe, pivoting on the patent leather spikes to get a good look. Her heel caught in the carpet and Grandma Mazur pitched back, her body bored stiff. She smacked into the casket before I could get to her, flailing with her arms for support, finally finding purchase on a wire supporting a large glass vase of gladiolus. The stand held, but the vase tipped out, crashing onto Danny Gunzer, cloaking him square in the forehead. Water sloshed into Gunzer's ears and dripped off his chin, and the gladiolus settled onto Gunzer's charcoal gray suit in colorful confusion. Everyone stared in speechless horror, half expecting Gunzer to jump up and shriek, but Gunzer didn't do anything. Grandma Mazur was the only one not frozen to the floor. She righted herself and adjusted her dress. Well, I guess it's a good thing he's dead, she said. There's no harm done. So, then, after that's taken care of, Spiro, the funeral director, takes her aside and says, I will give you $1,000 to find my casket. And she's like, what's up with that? He went to an auction and he bought some wholesale or resale or whatever you want to call them caskets in a lot. And she wants her to find them as they are missing. Now, who would steal 24 caskets unless, could they have been filled with guns, maybe? So, Stephanie receives a threatening note. Grandma Mazur calls about a viewing for the gas station guy. And like I said before, her grandmother hates closed caskets. Are you coming to make up for the fact that you were beating up the boy? No. Don't you go near him. Come over here. Come here. Don't you go near him. Come here. Come on. You see this face? It's the face of a girl determined to get a boy, to clean his ass. She's gonna do it if I don't keep them apart for the evening. Now here it is. Someone screamed in the front of the room, and there was the heavy sound of a heavy object being slammed shut. A heavy object like a coffin lid. I felt my eyes involuntarily roll skyward. Spiro appeared in the doorway not far from me, two small frown lines and fixed themselves between his eyebrows. He strode forward, cutting a swath through the crowd. I had a clear view in his wake, and the view was of Grandma Mazur. It was my sleeve, Grandma said to Spiro. It got caught by accident on the lid, and the dang things just opened up. It could have happened to anyone. Grandma looked back at me and gave a thumbs up. Is that your granny? Ranger wanted to know. Yup, she was just making sure that the Moogie was in there, that the gas station guy was actually deceased and he was actually in the coffin. Because Grandma Mazur has to have an open casket. So then she goes to see Connie the next day at the office to get another FTA, and Connie informs her that their latest file clerk has quit because Vinny tried to have sexual relationships with them. So, then Morelli calls her and tells her about the case. He's trying to get Morelli will become, spoiler alert, a romantic interest. Spoiler alert, Ranger will become a romantic interest. She gets a new FTA, and this is one of the very few times, and I didn't realize how good Stephanie was at her job to begin with, and we're all waiting for Stephanie to get back to being good at her job in the future. Because while some of the stuff is funny, it's getting old. We want Stephanie to get really good, so I'm anxious to read 30/30, but it is under my tree for Christmas, and like I said, we're doing 30 days of Stephanie Plum here. So she actually gets her guy and gets an FTA. Yay, Steffi, she got the guy. And then we discover that Lula has gotten a job in the bonds office as a file clerk after the other one was dismissed. And I don't know why I had it in my head that it was Stephanie that got her the job after what happened in book 1. You will have to read One for the Money if you want to know what happened. Lula was in a situation. But I don't know why. I always had in my head that Stephanie got a job, but Lula got the job herself. So she's now the file clerk, and one time only. I wonder if you will never hear this statement again. I'm not even in the right chapter. I was so excited. Why did I thought I wrote it down, but maybe I didn't. Okay, we'll come back to it because no, it's not that late. It has to be. Oh, I can't believe it has to be. I wrote it down. Oh, maybe it is the other one. So she's then Stephanie runs into Joyce Barnhart at the beauty parlor, and because she goes there, if you want information in the Berg, it's at the funeral parlor, it's at the beauty parlor, it's at the bakery, or it's at the deli. That's where you get your Berg information. So then, while she's taking her grandmother shopping, the guy that she's looking for, her FTA, approaches her and puts a finger in her jacket pocket, unknowns to her until later on. Apparently, one of the guys at the someone cut a finger off of a dead body at the funeral home and gave it to Stephanie as a warning. And Joe is slowly worming his way into Stephanie's life, and because of Berg manners, he gets invited to several dinners, he gets invited to have dessert often. He's slowly working his way into her life because he really, really likes her. And at one point, Kenny, the guy that's her FDA, attacks her grandmother, and I really can't believe I didn't write this page down. It's driving me crazy. Oops. Okay, I wanted to mention this because you will never hear this again in the rest of the books, ever. Connie says she's a filing, in reference to Lula, she's a filing maniac. She was born to file. And you will never hear that statement again. So if you want to know what's going on with the caskets, what was in the caskets, who stole the funeral caskets, and what this whole thing has to do, I don't want to spoil it too much for you, but it's a really good story. It has some really funny moments. So I hope you checked out my video for One for the Money, and this is Two for the Dough. And Lorelei King does take over in future books. I was confused about this, but it is Lori Petty for the first couple, and then later on Lorelei King takes over, and she's it for the rest of the books, as far as I know. But so it's Two for the Dough, and look for Tomato. 3 to Get Deadly. We will be checking in on these. I do most of these by audio. I do own the physical books, like my JD Robb. I do own the physical books and an audio book. Some cases I own a paperback, a hardcover, and an audio, because the earlier books, there's a long story with the JD Robb. So I hope you will stick with me with these 30 days of Stephanie Plum. We've got Joe Morelli, the cop, Ranger. His situation will change. He would still do FTAs, but he's also going to do something else. Conversation with Ranger will slow down, and it'll be, babe, a lot. And that's Ranger for you. There will be romantic interest between Stephanie and Ranger. And the way Janet has it set up, I don't think Stephanie will ever choose a man. She might, but I don't think she will, ever. And I don't think either man will choose somebody else either. I just don't. So it's 2 for the dough, 1 for the money, 2 for the dough, 3 to get said, 4 score, high 5, hot 6, 7 up, hard 8 to the 9s, 11 on 12. I know them by heart. And we will continue with the Stephanie Plum series. And give it a couple more books, and we'll be doing this in front of a Christmas tree, because this is where my tree goes. And I always decorate the cases. I don't know how I'm going to sit here now. But we're going to give it a try, and we're going to go try and save a little boy from getting beat up by this. Come here. By this one, because she's got it in her head that she's going to go kill him. Nah, really? I'm innocent. Look at those eyes. She's going to go kill him. She's determined she's going to go kill him. And he's an innocent little boy. Yep. So, please hit the like and subscribe. Let me know I'm doing a good job. Hit the thumbs up. I'd like 1,000 subscribers by the end of the month. I don't think it's gonna, I can try, I can pray. And enjoy 2 for the Dough. It's a good, solid book. We're gonna get to know Stephanie. We're gonna know Lula and Ranger and Morelli, and Tank will enter the picture. And Grandma Mazur is going to give us hours and hours of enjoyment. And in my head, she's Estelle Getty. If you know who Estelle Getty is from the Golden Girls, the makeup was brilliant on that woman. She didn't even look even close to what there was. But she's Estelle Getty in my head. And Lorelei Petty does a great job with the voices. And we get to know some more people. And it's mentioned in this book. Valerie, Stephanie's sister, is mentioned in this book. She will eventually show up. And that will lead to a whole new situation and a whole new state of events. And Stephanie will start eating more. As I mentioned in the last video, when I think of these books, I think of Krispy Kreme and Dunkin' Donuts and Cluck in the Bucket. And when I see Krispy Kreme and Dunkin' Donuts, I think of Stephanie Plum. They go together. I think of one and not the other. I associate these things together. So, donuts and Stephanie Plum, and Cluck in the Bucket and Stephanie Plum, or KFC if you want to say it that way. But please check it out. Hit the like and subscribe. Let me know I'm doing a good job. Hit the thumbs up. And I'm going to see if I can save a boy's life. Have a good one.